Good morning, folks. Welcome to the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. Cassandra Terry, the mindset coach and founder of Manifesting Miracle Makers, rounded up her LinkedIn family once again. First, we've got Brian Smart, Mr. Content and Dadpreneur. He's striking the perfect balance between raising his youngest daughter and creating masterful content. Next, meet Denise Annalise Spiller, the gig expert and relentless traveler and writer. She turns every gig into an adventure. Then there's Jay Pasquale, the storytelling strategist, a poet and voiceover artist. He's weaving tales that'll make you think, laugh, and maybe even change your perspective. And wrapping it up, we have Eric Clark, the soul speaker and author. He's here to soulfully help you craft your story and narrative. Get ready for a show filled with wisdom, inspiration, and the magic of family. Let's welcome Cassandra Terry and the rest of the Fam Five.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to the Wednesday edition of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. It is Wake Up Wednesday, and we are here to talk to you about the power of intentionality, being intentional, setting intention for your day, your week, your month, your life. What are you intending to do? What are you focused on? What are you working towards? When you have clarity of that, it makes everything so much easier. Your yeses can be confident yeses, and your no's can be unapologetic no's, because you have a vision, you have a mission, you have a goal that you are intentionally working towards, and things either align with that or they don't. And our resources are precious, especially the resource of time. We can make more money, we can create more of all sorts of things, but time is that resource that's the great equalizer. If you're at the top of the totem pole, or if you're just trying to get in the game, we all have the same 24 hours in our day. And when we learn to master the management of our time and use that time well, and we focus during our day, then we can get ahead. We can accelerate the progress towards the things that are really important to us. So that's what we'll be talking about today. Jay and I are here. We may have some more of the Fam Five trickle in as the show progresses. We are all still in the holiday time of the year. My background is completely different because I am not home. I'm actually outside on the patio in Port Aransas, Texas. We have a condo down here, and we are outside, or at least I am, enjoying the morning air. And I was intentional about getting to you guys even during our vacation break. And it has been a challenge trying to set up a little space outside so that I don't wake up everybody who's asleep in the house, which is the place where you were yesterday, Jay. So we've switched spots again. And in doing so, y'all, it has been a challenging morning. I tried to get lighting out here. It's pretty dim. The sun's still making its way up. So I probably look more like a shadow of a person than an actual person, but it's me. And that was my husband just walking in. Oh, no, that's not him. That's somebody headed to the beach. The beach is right there, guys. The pool is behind me. There's a boardwalk, and we're just a few steps away from the sand. And we got here last night, and that was the first thing we did was went for a night stroll on the beach, got our steps in, and then we've been relaxing ever since. But this morning has been anything but relaxing. I got up with good intentions. I'm going to find me a quiet space outside so I don't wake everybody up. And as soon as I set up, I was like, oh, it's so dim. I need lighting. So I went and got the floor lamp, plugged it in, no light. I have no idea why it didn't work. So from there, I said, let me try the tabletop lamp. I've got a table outside, so that should be fine. I picked the most beautiful lamp in the house. It's so perfect for the theme of the condo. We Airbnb it, so we have, customers coming in and out all the time. So we have a nice theme, beachy theme going. So I've got this big, white, clear kind of shaped like a bulb. There's a big, thick rope in it, and then a really beautiful shade. I was probably 2 steps from where I was going to sit it, and the whole thing slipped out of my hand and just shattered everywhere. So leading up to this, I'm cleaning up glass and still trying to keep the positive mindset and stay focused. And my husband is still, he had to go on the other side because the railing is poles, so there's plenty of space in between. And so of course glass went outside into the common area where people will be walking to get to the beach because it's a little chilly. I don't think anybody will come to the pool. So I mean, we've got a major cleanup job going on because the lamps switched out of my hand. So he's still cleaning up glass to my left as we speak. So that's how the morning started. That is how the morning started. But because the intention was clear, I knew my purpose. I knew what I was doing and why I was doing it. And I also know one of the things, I you guys have heard me talk about the 6 C's of eliminating self-limiting beliefs. It's this online course that I have. One of the C's is conquer. After you've done all the inner work and you've reframed that negative self-talk, after you've gotten clarity about what it is that you want, after you've committed to your plan, it feels like you've got it all together. You have to be prepared to conquer. Obstacles are going to come. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you have it together, blessed and highly favored, you still are going to face consequences and to things that are completely out of your control. Like dropping that lamp was just one of those reminders that, am I going to allow myself to lose focus? Am I going to allow myself to get taken in, swept in of this small situation in the grand scheme of things? Or am I going to grab hold of my intention, remember why I'm here, remember what the purpose is? I was looking at the clock. I was like, okay, I've got about 3 minutes to get myself together, and I need to log in and do all the things to set this up so that it works right. I've got to let everybody in the room. I've got to get my microphone and camera working. I have a whole nother thing to do to get Instagram going compared to all the other spaces. And so I'm thinking to myself, I don't have time to cry over broken glass, cry over spilled milk. I have to either, I could cancel, or I could go, hey, Jay, can you take it today? Or I could stick to my intention. I could capture the fifth of the 6 C's and say, I'm going to conquer this moment and I'm going to move forward with intention despite a minor setback, because my mind wanted to make it so much bigger than what it really was. And I was telling Jay before we went live that I think it was a counselor. It could have been a book I read, but I believe it was a counselor who taught me, when you feel yourself really getting triggered, when you feel your mind all over the place, or you're getting frustrated with somebody or yourself or a situation, stop and ask yourself, what story am I telling myself right now? Because the truth of the matter was, it was a single story. I dropped a lamp. But there was so many other thoughts. Man, if I was home in my studio, this would be so easy. Man, if there was a space in the house where that I could just set up easily. People are sleeping everywhere, so I can't find space to work. All these thoughts can easily start to run rapid in your mind. And then for a moment, but we're on vacation. People are supposed to be sleeping. We've got fun stuff just hanging out. This is what we do this time of the year, every year. That's an intention too. Spending this time with my family is important. And I could have so easily lost sight of that because of one broken lamp. Intention, focus, purpose, hanging on to that, being aware of that, and allowing that to be your guide in any moment will get you through situations that can easily spiral out of control if you let this thing take over. And I heard myself saying, I say every day, we are not a victim of our thoughts. We have more power than we give ourselves credit for. Arrest those thoughts, get them under control, get back to reality, conquer, and get right back on track, because the obstacles are designed. Sometimes are designed to kick you off, because we give a lot of credit to the enemy. Oh, the enemy's busy today. He's trying to make sure I don't do my thing. Sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's testing your resolve. Are you really who you say you are? Are you really as committed as you say you are? Are you really in this thing like you say you are? And it gives you those little litmus tests so you can go back and recalibrate if you need to. Maybe I'm too easily thrown off So there's some work I need to do. Maybe I'm too easily allowing these stories to spiral out of control. So there's some underlying stuff that needs to be healed. Maybe. But you don't even have the opportunity to figure those things out if you don't sit with those feelings and actually deal with them and allow yourself to get better. Everything that happens to us, good, bad, and indifferent, is an opportunity for us to get better. It's an opportunity for us to show up as the better version of ourselves, to heal old traumas, to get past bad behaviors and patterns and habits. We have the opportunity to get better all the time, but we have to take it. And that's what I had to do this morning. And there were the thoughts surprised me. Some of them, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just dropped the lamp. What's all this other stuff? What is it? And you have to ask yourself those questions, because when you do, you give yourself the opportunity to rectify those things once and for all. So I encourage you, whatever your feelings are, don't push them down, don't bat them away. Actually sit with them a little bit and talk to them, experience them, ask yourself what's really happening in this moment, so that you can clear that thing up and it no longer shows up, it no longer has a hold on you. So wasn't part of the plan for today's conversation, but again, it's not my plan, right? What comes up comes out when you're a vessel. And even the breaking of a lamp can be apropos to what we are doing at any point in time. Any point in time. So I see we've got some people with us. My VA Michael, happy Wednesday. My able coach, and Jay, happy Wednesday, Michael. I saw your message about an hour ago, so you're the next thing that I'm going to do. I'll respond and get you the notes that you need. Life with Mandy. Good morning, Mandy. Welcome. Let's see. Up, he saw. Michael also said, Mr. Content, so he saw you come in. Happy Wednesday to you as well. And then he said, Happy Wednesday, Fam 5. Conchita, happy Wednesday to everyone. It's going to be an amazing day. You are absolutely correct. It is going to be an amazing day. Broken glass and all, girl. We're going to make it that. It's an amazing day because we choose to make it so. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for your shares last night. It was wonderful to finally hear your voice. I love it when I get to hear the voices and sometimes see the faces along with the comments that we get on a regular basis. So that was an extra treat last night, getting to meet another layer of Conchita. So let me move to our quote of the day, or it's really just kind of my thought as I was pulling things together last night. I didn't do a quote again. My thoughts: don't live your life by chance. Wake up to the power that is within, the power to choose and create the life that you desire. Little did I know that I was going to have to lean into that power this morning just to get on here with a genuine smile on my face, connect with my brothers, and have this time with you guys. We had to move through some stuff, and I had to make some choices. And the choice that I made was to be here and to have this experience with you guys instead of spiraling out of control. And guys, look at where I am. I told Jay it probably looks like a fake background, but that's actually, I'm sitting on my patio, and that's the pool area. They have those little hut cabanas, and just over there, I was just saying before, is the boardwalk that takes you down to the beach. Shame on me if I'm anything but happy in this moment. Shame on me if I allow anything to take me away. I'm not at my regular house where I live most of the days. I'm at my second house that we Airbnb the majority of the time, especially during the summers. We don't get up here as often because people are here vacationing. But, you have to stop and realize the blessings that we have in this life. One broke lamp does not undo any of all the rest of this stuff. My husband's here, my sister and brother-in-law are here, a niece and a nephew. We drove down yesterday with no issue, stocked the fridge, and have been hanging out and having a good time ever since. That's the facts of the matter. The broken glass, I won't allow it to shatter the facts. We'll clean up the glass, we'll get a new lamp, and we'll keep going. The facts are the facts. So we're not going to live our life by chance. We're going to wake up to the power that is within, the power to choose, the power to create the life that we desire. We all have that power. We just have to choose to tap into it and not be swept away by our emotions and by our thoughts, because we have power over those as well. So that's what I wanted to share this morning. Brian, we missed you yesterday. I know you tried to be with us. I think you had some connectivity issues. How are you doing this morning?
I had to push through. I'm still in holiday mode. I'm still trying to,
Fa la 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 la, brother. Fa la la la
man.
la.
I had to push through and make the Cassandra Terry morning show today. I really didn't want to show up to anything. I didn't go to sleep last night till about 4 a.m. Still putting toys together, still showing my nephew how to ride a bike. He wanted to go outside at 1 a.m. Look, I think I figured it
Wow.
out. I'm like, look, man, you don't have to figure it out right now. We can figure it out when the storm comes up. He's like, nah, I need to do it now. I think I got it. So we were outside to like 3:30 practicing riding a bike.
What a
And
blessing.
he's getting a little better, but man, he wore me out.
I hear you. I hear you. And you know, and again, do we focus on the I haven't had enough sleep, or do we focus on the memories and the beauty of the time that you spent with your nephew, right? That's those are the moments where we have the power to choose and create the life that we desire, because they're both factual. It's factual that you're tired. It's factual that you had to do some stuff that you may not have had planned, but it's also factual that you and that nephew created some memories that'll last with him for a lifetime. He'll probably talk about this with his kids. My uncle was out putting my toys together and out riding with me the day after Christmas till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's the kind of uncle I have. So, you know, it's all they're both facts, right? And where we focus and how we choose to look at it makes all the difference in the world. So I'm so glad that you were here. We definitely missed your presence yesterday. We saw you trying to get on, but you know, stuff happens. And but I'm glad you pushed through and that you're here today. Tell me
Right.
about the quote and how that's grabbing you this morning.
Don't live your life by chance. It's all up to you. You know, I
It
I,
is.
I made the decision today. I had a vision before I came on. I said, oh, it's 7:05.
Mhm.
And that was at like, I don't know, maybe 6:30. So I saw 7:05 in my mind. And I said, okay, I gotta make sure I'm up and I'm moving around at 7:05. Well, guess what happened? When I looked down at the clock, it was 7:05. So
Mm,
I made the decision to not live my life by chance, to take control of my life. We have so much more power than we realize. Like our thoughts are they're everything. And we are in control of those. That's the only thing we have control over is our thoughts, right? And it's not about creating our thoughts, it's about attracting the thoughts that we want to manifest into the life that we
right.
want to have, right? And at 7:05, I was manifesting that thought. I'm gonna make sure I make it to the morning show. I'm not gonna disappoint. I'm not gonna be MIA again 2 days straight. I'm gonna make sure I'm in there today. So I made the conscious decision to make sure that at 7:05 I was in tow, and at 7:15 I was on the show. So I woke up with the power that is within me, right? The power to choose, the power to create
You
the
set your
life that I
intention.
want. Right, that was my intention. And you know, when you think about waking up, that's what waking up is for me. It's not a physical uh
Mm-mm.
it's not a physical action. It's a mental, spiritual type deal. You have to wake up. You got to wake yourself up. I'm still waking up now, right? I'm still
Right.
waking my mind up to the fact that the holidays are over with. The relaxation period is, you got to put that away. Now it's time to get back to work. You got to get back to the grind. And now is the time to do that, right? That's where I'm at. That's what that quote means for me. Stop waiting for things to happen. Stop hoping things are gonna happen, and make things happen. It might not
Hmm.
always be what you want it to be, but you can make it what you want it to be, right? You can make it what you want it to be, even if it's not happening that way right now. You have to have a plan for your life. When I think about it, I think about a definite objective. I think
Hmm.
about goal setting. I think about the M3 workbook. I think about the 6 C's. I think about the pillars of your life. I think about your values. I think about all of those things that you have to do. I think about my 7-year calendar, right? I think about all of the things that you have to have in place in order to not live your life by chance. I think about all of the things you have to do in order to make a plan for your life. If you're not going to live your life by chance, you're going to have to take control of it. Now is the time to do that. Right now is the time to start setting those goals for 2024. Hey, everybody's moving back there.
That's my niece. She just went down and had her morning walk at the beach, and she's making her way back in now.
Wow, it's a great life. See, she got up with intention also.
Hmm.
Wake up, everybody. Wake up, everybody, and take control of your life.
Absolutely, I love that. And I think about, she's from Detroit, Michigan. So they love being here during this time of the year because they're not shoveling snow. They're not, stuck in or having to deal with all of that. They can actually come and enjoy the weather. It's a little chilly for us in Texas. It's nothing for them because they're so used to the temperatures being so much less, right? So she intends every morning she'll get up, she'll go walk the beach. She has a beautiful singing voice, and so I hear her singing out there and just enjoying nature. And it's how we start our day this week, every year, watching the sun set, watching the sun rise, and then just enjoying the peace and quiet in between. And you're right, there's a transition. The holidays period is such hustle and bustle. You try to get so much done in a short amount of time, and then you have to recalibrate and remind yourself that, all right, we're beyond. Now it's time to take some deep breaths, to relax, to look back on what we've accomplished so far, to be able to enjoy this time. Because what we do is we run, we jump from one event to the next thing to the next thing, and we rarely stop and take the time to actually enjoy those experiences, take the time to actually realize what all we've experienced and be grateful for it. And so those pause periods are extremely valuable, and they help us to maintain an attitude of gratitude and realize just how blessed we are, even in the midst of things that are not necessarily unfolding the way that we would like them to. There's a blessing there if we choose to find it, if we choose to look for it. So thank you, Brian, for being here and for pushing through. Hopefully you can get you a nap later, because I'm sure the nephew will be back for more lessons. So
He
you
will.
better sleep
I'll
while
be
you
next.
can. What'd you say?
I said he'll be back, but I'll be napping.
I won't be surprised if he wakes you up. So you better get that down. We won't keep you too long this morning. Conchita said, beautiful scenery. Enjoy the day to the fullest. You deserve it all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And you guys are going to be able to see me in a little bit. The sun is really coming up and there's more light. And so we're making the most of it. And I can hear the water. It's so serene and peaceful. Maybe the Fam Five, y'all will have to come and visit here and get a little bit of Texas beach. It's not Florida or a lot of other places, but this is a nice one out here. So Eric, I'm going to go to you next, but let me read through the thought that I shared for today, and let's see how it grabbed you as well. Don't live your life by chance. Wake up to the power that is within, the power to choose and create the life that you desire. What's on your mind this morning, Eric?
Well, Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising, everyone listening to us all around the world. I was following along with my brother Brian's list, and I wanted to add a couple. The vision board, that is an incredible tool, and you also have that vision board event coming up too. So I wanted to definitely
Yeah,
highlight
January
that.
the 8th.
Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to that, definitely. And also those SMART goals, specific, measurable, obtainable, realistic, and timely. Those are also just two tools that the best mindset coach in the world uh, also employs. And so those tools are also came into mind. As I was listening to Brian's list, wanted to add those two as well. So that was top of mind, just how to live with intentionality, using all the tools at our disposal to make sure that our energies are focused on our definite purpose, and just moving with intention, surrounding ourselves with our tribe, folks to help us, empower us, and get us where we need to be. And so those are just a few other tools I was thinking of, and how I use, or what I use, to stay intentional and move and purpose towards that definite purpose.
I love that. I'm glad you brought up the vision board, because this time of the year, as we are reflecting on the year that's coming to an end, and we're starting to set our intentions for the new year, the vision board is a very, very powerful tool. We talked about this a little bit yesterday as well. Um, I created my vision board a year ago, and I look at that thing. It is in my face every single day, especially when I'm, when I'm in my office and I'm doing the show, or I'm in there doing any type of work. It's hanging right where I can see it at all times, and it reminds me, it encourages me, it keeps me on track. A lot of the things that I intended for 2023. I've got to update my board, because thank God those things have come into fruition. And then there's things that are works in progress that I'll continue into the new year. And there's also the category of the things that I really haven't tapped into yet. So it reminds me it gives me that reminder of what it is I really desire, the things that I really want to accomplish out of my life. I have that visual in front of me all the time. It is a powerful, powerful tool. We will be doing a vision board party on January the 8th. I figured the first week of January, everybody's still coming down from that high and kind of recollecting themselves from the holidays. So Monday the 8th, we're going to get together at 6:30 Central, or 6 p.m. Central, for a virtual vision board party. We'll take you through some sort of a grounding exercise to get you, and it's really about getting you present, leaving all the stuff that was going on with you up till 5:59 p.m., putting that stuff aside so that you're fully present in the moment, and ready to make the most of our experience together. And then we do a goal setting workshop, those SMART goals that Eric just mentioned. We go over those and how you apply them in your goal setting so that you have good, meaningful goals set. And then the fun begins, and you guys have the opportunity to actually create your vision board. You go through magazines, you Google different images, and I call them power words, affirmations, and things like that. Those things get affixed to your board, and then you have that as a reminder from that day forward of the things that you're working on, what intentions you're using that board to actually set your intentions for the new year. And so I hope you guys will join us. I actually created a QR code quite a while ago, and I've never used it. So I'll try to remember before today's show is up to put it up there. And then you guys can just scan the screen and go directly to the registration page. And I will also try to remember to put the link in the comments from today's show. So if you're not a QR code type of person, you can just follow the link from there. But the vision board is a tool that I really, really believe in. It's not only sets your intentions, but it deepens them. It connects you with them on a deeper level, because you're combing through things to find the visual representation of what it is that you really desire. And in doing that, you just really hone in on those things. And then you've got that reminder with you all the time. So do join us on the 8th for that vision board party. I don't think you will regret it, and it'll be something that will keep giving to you and reminding you throughout the rest of the year. So don't live your life by chance. Wake up to the power that is within, the power to choose and to create the life that you desire. So, Jay, I'm going to pitch it over to you to share in whatever way you would like to this morning.
Thank you, Cassandra. We were talking earlier. I said, I also have a tropical background behind me, um, behind this virtual background. As soon as I took the virtual background, what shows up is a 50-inch screen with YouTube playing a tropical background. So that's how I'm getting my warmth this morning. So I'm not actually out in the cold today, but I also was thinking about what Brian was saying. You know, we've got my grandkids, and they like to wake up in the middle of the night and stay awake. Lord, trying to get them back to sleep. It's you really have to have the patience of Job, and but I definitely understand how you feeling, man. But what I wanted to talk about, comes from Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, and it's for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And so for me, that's having intention, knowing that there is a plan out there for me. There's a purpose for me, and trying to live in that purpose, right? That's where the intentionality comes in. I need to start showing what it is that I'm intended for and what I intend to do. And if it's coming from God, then I shouldn't squander that away. I shouldn't just leave those skills, the all the wisdom that he's bestowed upon me for all these 49 years. And so I don't I shouldn't take that lightly. And when I had my experience um, surviving the tornado, that really put things into perspective. Like, I can't waste my life. I got to live with purpose. I got to live with intention because God gave that to me. He gave me my life and he gave me my purpose. Now I have to live in that purpose, and trying to figure that out. It's, it sometimes it can be a minute, 2 minutes, 3 years.
Right.
It can be some time. But the the thing is, you have to be mindful. It starts with that mindset, right? And and Cassandra talks about it all the time, and she uses the six C's in different parts and from different parts of the C's, and you hear it, but it all relates to mindset. And so what also comes up for me is the story of Christmas Carol.
Mm.
And A Christmas Carol, if you know the story, and I'll go over it again. First, it's the ghost of Christmas past that comes to visit, right? And he sees his past, and he's not a miser. He's not the Scrooge that we know from the beginning of the book.
Right.
He's joyful. He's trying to get into a relationship. He's looking at the future. And so that was Christmas past. Christmas present, he starts to see how all that miserly activity and just hoarding and being mean and spiteful to people, right? Kids would be saying, "Yeah, that dude's petty," um, you know, and so that's the thing. It's like he's looking at his life and how he's impacting different people, but then he sees the ghost of Christmas future. At the end of that, though, his future is he meets his demise. We all will. The truth of the matter is we all will. And so he wakes up, wake up Wednesday. He wakes up
Mhm.
Christmas morning knowing all of these things. Now he's filled with purpose because he sees what has gone on. That mindset has changed. It started with the story of his past, his present, and his eventual future. And if we
Mhm.
all lived in through those different stories of our life and understood that, our mindset would be, man, I got to live with intention. And Brian and I have had conversations, and I've had other conversations with the Fam Five, you know, I, and I've said it a few times recently. Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't have time. I'm 49, right? If I'm gonna leave a legacy that's going to be impactful not only for myself, but for the people I care about and for others who are in my network, then I've got to do something. I've got to live with that intention. I've got to live with purpose. And and so I just got to hit the ground running. Nobody's going to do it for me. I've got to do it. And I don't want to see, you know, how I could have helped Tiny Tim. I,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be the dude that says, hey, Tiny Tim, come on, let me carry you on my shoulder. Let me go ahead and help your dad. Let him become a partner in my business. That's what I'm looking at when I see that quote. When I see what your thoughts, and those are the two things that came to mind.
I love that. And you brought up two things for me. First, let me deal with the Scrooge. The first thing, because we all know somebody, we run across those people. We have people during the holiday season that we may see that we don't typically see on a regular basis, and we may have a little bit of angst about that. Um, the one thing that you said, the Scrooge, when the ghost of Christmas past came, we saw a different Scrooge. We saw a hopeful Scrooge. We saw a Scrooge with a future, and life happened and happened and happened and kept happening. And as a result, he ended up the Scrooge that we saw at the beginning of A Christmas Carol. And if that doesn't say give grace, I don't know what does, because we don't know, we don't have the luxury, right, of everyone's full backstory, but we all have one. So when you run across Scrooge, understand that life has happened to get that person to that point. And when we're thinking about that, instead of, the frown or the mean comment or whatever, it allows us to give grace, and if we need to, sidestep, and not interact as much, because we do have to protect our peace. But it does help us not take it personal. It helps us to not elevate the situation and make it worse when we give grace and we realize that everybody has a backstory, and we don't know what all has happened in this individual's life for them to end up in the state that we experienced them. When we are just thinking from that point of view, it just kind of helps us to deal with difficult people a little bit better, because we're dealing with a result of a lifetime to up to that point, and we only see that point. So we're short-sighted. We really don't know the story. That's why sometimes when you hear people say, you may be the only smile that someone receives that day, it's so true. We just have no idea all the stuff that's going on. Eric had a room last night, and people were on stage, and one lady had really shared a beautiful share, and she was being so, supportive and inspiring and forthcoming. And the next thing out of her mouth was, I lost my mom last night. Blew us away. You would never have thought, up until those words came out of her mouth, that that was somebody living and dealing with grief that was so real. It was less than 24 hours old. And there she was in the room, motivating and uplifting other people, right? If she had showed up in the room angry, because sometimes when stuff like that happens, we get mad. We get mad at God. How could you take my mom away? How could you allow this to happen? How could it happen this time of the year, right at Christmas time, God? God's shoulders are big. He knew when he put us together what were going to be the things that was going to cause our meltdowns, and what were going to be the things that we could get through. You just have to walk your path and go through those emotions and allow yourself to get to the other side. So if she had shown up angry, if she had told us we were all nuts for talking about all this mindset and positive stuff because real life is happening and people are losing their parents, she would have been right. And she would have, because that would have been where she was in her journey. We were blessed by the fact that she came in with all of this positivity. But if she had come in the other way, would with us not knowing that last sentence that she shared, we could have really have dealt with her differently, right? And not knowing that she was coming from a place of pain. But usually behind all this anger and angst and bad behavior, that's what's behind it, some sort of pain, some sort of trauma. And it just helps us to remember that, because we can not add to the pain by how we handle people and when they show up as less than their best self. So that was one of the things that when you said, he was a different Scrooge, I was just thinking how many people in my life, you know, because of the how their lives have unfolded, are different than the hopeful person that began. And so it was just a great reminder, Jay. And when you gave your verse, I have a verse that is the basis of my business. I have one for my business, and I have one that's specific for the vision board part of it. But for the business, it's Philippians 4:8, and it's finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report. If there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. If that's not mindset, folks, I don't know what is. That's literally the Bible telling us to cast our eyes, put our focus on the things in our lives that are pure, that are honest, that are of good report. We forget that. And sometimes we're so overcome by the opposite of those things. We're overwhelmed by it that we forget that even in our basic instruction for living every day, this Bible tells us how we're supposed to live while we're still here. For those of us who are believers, I know there are people who have different belief systems, and we respect that. For those of us who are believers, this is our instruction manual, right? And it tells us where we are to put our focus. When we focus on those things, that's what we see. That allows us to remain hopeful. That allows us to remain soft-hearted. That keeps us from becoming Scrooge. And it allows us to move through those seasons and not come out hard and scathed and leathered, right? Weathered and leathered. We have the opportunity, by how we use our minds, by what we choose to focus on, to help the trajectory of our lives. Mindset is just that powerful. And so I chose this verse as the foundational verse for my life coaching business, because mine is all about mindset. It's all about inner work. And I think that verse sums it up so beautifully. Dwayne, I see you joined us back again, and he said, good day to you, sir. Welcome back. We're glad to have you. We are just about to wrap up today's edition of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show, which was Wake Up Wednesday. Our thought for today was, don't live your life by chance. Wake up to the power that is within, the power to choose and create the life that you desire. As I'm getting ready to send us out, I will go ahead like I promised. Let's see if I can do this. I'll share the QR code for the vision board event. If anyone's interested, it's there. You can just let me move the quote because that might be in the way. That will allow you to scan, and it'll take you directly to the registration form for the event. So we'll leave that up for a couple of seconds. And while that's going on, guys, any closing thoughts before we call it a day?
No, just one thing, if you can just get a little bottle that you can put that sand in for me and send it my way, just so I can get a little taste of what you're going. I'm just kidding, but enjoy, sister.
Thank you.
Like Conchita said, you deserve it.
I will definitely enjoy. We will be back tomorrow for Thankful Thursday. Guys, no matter what, we have something, and in most cases, many, many things to be thankful for. So join us back here tomorrow at 7:15 a.m. Central for Thankful Thursday. Start to think about what you're grateful for right now. End your day with 3 or 4 things that you're grateful for. Wake up in the morning thinking about what you're grateful for, and watch how that affects your mindset and helps you to see things more clearly and with more hope, and keeping that Scrooge away, keeping you that hopeful, supple-hearted person that you were created to be. So with that, we are going to close today's edition of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. Thank you, brothers, for being with me today. I know you all have family and other obligations, but you're here and you are much appreciated. And we'll do it again tomorrow, 7:15 a.m. Central. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. We hope that you join us tomorrow for another episode. For advertising or sponsorship questions, reach out to Cassandra or any one of the Fam5 on their LinkedIn profiles. Have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.